Hi, I'm Perfect Stranger, and I'm here to share my story. It's a story about addiction, healing, and finding purpose. And if there are others out there who feel alone in their struggles, or people who don't fully understand what this is for anyone who's felt stuck, lost, or like they don't belong. Addiction is complex. It's not just about the drug or the behavior, it's about who's underneath. For me, meth has been a big part of my life for the past 18 years. I've lost people I cared about along the way, but this isn't just a story of addiction. It's a story of reflection, growth, and hope. At 37, there are moments where I look back and recognize opportunities for growth. It's like I've been running in circles for years, moving, but along this process, I am understanding that there is more depth to my addiction than I thought. I began using meth as a way to escape and numb feelings that I had suppressed from my childhood. I grew up in South Africa, where my childhood was marked by trauma, violence, betrayal, and a constant lack of safety. In the midst of it all, using meth became my way of trying to regain a sense of control, even if it was only an illusion. When I was diagnosed with ADHD, it made so much sense. As someone with ADHD, I discovered that my stimulants as a way to calm the chaos of my mind momentarily and be at fleeting peace. But now, I know there are other ways to find peace. A major turning point in my life was realizing that I have the power to release the pain, resentment, and anger I had carried for so long toward my dad. I discovered that forgiveness isn't about the other person, it's about freeing myself. A major turning point in my life was realizing that I have the power to release the pain, resentment, and anger I had carried for so long toward my dad. I discovered that forgiveness isn't about the other person, it's about freeing myself. For a long time, I carried anger and resentment toward my dad for the way he treated me growing up. But I realized in that moment of letting go, it was freeing in a way I can't fully explain. For the past 8 years, I've been dealing meth. I'm not proud of it, but it's been a way to survive. When people think about dealing, they imagine the money and the control, but the truth is, it comes with its own dangers. There were times I owed a lot of money to dangerous people who wouldn't hesitate to hurt me, or worse, it felt like I was constantly running, always moving to avoid danger. But something shifted after I paid off what I owed, and for the first time in years, I had some space to breathe. I started cutting out certain people who brought chaos into that decision allowed me to create a more sustainable, calmer lifestyle. Now, I want to build something new, something meaningful. I've been working on my brand and my goal. It's a work in progress, but it's something I'm passionate about, and I hope it will give me a way to move forward. I've always been drawn to the taboo, to exploring the things people don't talk about or shy away from. I think part of that curiosity is what led me to spirituality and more specifically the left-hand path. As I started learning, the left-hand path isn't about following rules or conforming to a specific idea of what spirituality should look like. It's about finding your truth, embracing your shadows, and connecting with the energies and deities that resonated with me. That means doing meditations, research about the deities, and building connections with entities I feel drawn to. It's still a process, but this path has given me a sense of purpose. It's shown me that my struggles have meaning, and that I'm capable of growth. I'm still learning, still exploring, but I know I'm on the right track. One of the hardest parts of this journey has been staying focused. ADHD and addiction make it feel like my mind is setbacks still happen, and there are moments where I feel like I'm not making progress. But I've learned to look at them as lessons in those moments. Instead of beating myself up, I try to ask, what can I learn from this? I've also learned to take things one step at a time. For so long, my life felt like it was spiraling out of control, but my brand is a big part of that. It's not just about the business, it's about proving to myself that I can create. There are still challenges ahead, but I'm learning to trust the process. I know I have a purpose here, and while I don't have all the answers, I'll learn them on the way. To anyone who's just starting their healing journey, I want you to know that it's worth it. There will be challenges ahead, but if you can push through and look at those moments as opportunities to grow, it gets easier. Healing isn't linear. For me, the proudest part of this journey is where I am today. It's not perfect, but it's leaps ahead of where I started. I've let go of anger and resentment, found a path that feels meaningful, and started building a future I can be proud of. You're struggling. Know that you're not alone. There's always a way forward, and you're stronger than you think. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it inspires you to keep going, to keep fighting for yourself, and to believe.